Hello friends, this video on metal and non-metal part 11 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Before watching this video, please make sure that you have watched part 1 to part 10. So till now we have done reaction of metal with something, reaction of non-metal with something. We have done reaction of metal with metal also, but we have not done reaction of metal with non-metal. What will happen if you react metal with non-metal? Let's see. So when a metal and non-metal react, the transfer of electron takes place from metal to non-metal. Why? Because this guy, if you see, metal is ready to give electron. Metal wants to give electron, right? And non-metal always wants to take this electron. So if you see, this electron is common here. Metal always wants to give this electron and non-metal always wants to take. For example, sodium will try to give electron to become Na plus, and chlorine will try to take that electron to become Cl minus. And these are the stable state of sodium and chlorine, and then they will be form a compound called NaCl. Correct? So why they do like this, we'll explain maybe in the next two chapters, where we'll explain the atomic structure and the valence electron, the shells, where we'll tell why this metal has a tendency to lose electron and non-metals has tendency to gain electrons. We'll explain maybe in the next chapter. Next chapters, yeah. The compound formed in this manner by the transfer of electron, please know the transfer of electron, there is no sharing, this transfer of electron from metal to non-metal are called ionic compounds or electrovalent compounds. Both are same. They are ionic or electrovalent compounds where actually the transfer of electron happens and there is a bonding that is created. Ionic compounds have strong electrostatic force of attraction between the positive and negative. They have very strong force, and that's why they have high melting in boiling point. We'll explain that also. Ionic compounds have very strong attraction between them, the positive and negative ions. So before we understand the ionic thing, we'll explain how the NaCl is formed. Let's understand this shell thing. So if you see this metals, we are more interested in, suppose sodium. Sodium has atomic number 11. That means it has this K element cell. We have learned this very brief in this previous classes, and we'll learn more in the next class. But just understand this 11. So it has 281 as the number of electrons in the cell. The K shell will have 2, L will have 8, M will have 1. This M is 1. See, generally 8 or 0 is the stable state, right? It should, the formula is, or the funda is, the outermost shell should be filled to be stable. Okay, that is the funda of all the reaction. The outermost shell should be filled to be stable. So in this case, if you see, M has the maximum quantity of 8, L has the maximum quantity of 8, K has 2. Now, in this case, this guy also, for sodium to become stable, it has to either get 7 electron, because 8 is the requirement, or you lose this guy also. You lose this guy, this shell is gone. The next cell is this, already 8. So, sodium has two options. Either to get 7 electron or to lose 1 electron. Gaining 7 electron is difficult. This world is very cruel. Nobody will give 7 electron to you. Why will other elements give? See, the elements behave just like human beings, right? So sodium knows that gaining 7 electron for him is very, very difficult. Nobody will give him 7 electrons. But losing 1 electron is easy for him, because anyway he is losing, he can lose that, right? So for you to lose thing is easy to gain, but to gain is difficult. For example, money. So for you to spend money in a shop or in a mall is easier than to earn money. Same thing is the electron. Electron is like money for these atoms. But sodium knows that if he can just lose 1 extra money which he has, because one extra money is causing him discomfort, is not making him stable, he's not getting sleep. Maybe sodium is not getting sleep because of the 1 extra electron. It will give the electron, because he has to either get 7 extra electron to get the complete stability in life, or has to lose 1 extra electron to get stability in life. So better it will prefer, okay, let me lose the extra electron, and then you will see sodium has the tendency of losing one extra electron. But if you see elements like chlorine, if you see chlorine has 7 elements in the outermost shell. So it has two options, either to give 7 electrons to someone or to gain 1 electron from someone. Chlorine will not like to give 7 because it's almost done, almost he has filled the outermost, just in need of 1 electron, right? 1 electron, that means it will be complete, it will be happy in life, and it will not give the 7 electron which he has earned over a period of time. So what it will do is it will try to get 1 electron from somewhere. The moment sodium comes and sodium is ready to give 1 electron and sodium becomes Na plus, this guy chlorine will take this electron. Chlorine will take this electron and will become Cl minus. And this guy is stable. This guy is stable now. This guy is a stable states, right? These guys are stable. Sodium is happy with giving 1 electron. It is not having by giving 1 electron, it is not having this. It is the outermost will have 8 now. It is happy. Chlorine will get 8. It will be happy. So that's the reason why the reaction happens. We'll study more in detail when we study the periodic table. We'll study why sodium or why potassium, calcium, why things are, which one is more reactive, even if they have one elements in the outermost cell. So those kind of things we'll study in the next class, right? And if you see argon, right, this guy, or neon, helium, the outermost cells are all complete. This guy needs 2, he has 2 elements, electrons. This guy needs 8 electrons, this guy has 8. This guy argon needs 8 electrons, this guy has 8. And that's why they are pretty stable in life. They have reached the calm state. They are called saint. You can see that saint, right? They have stable in life. They don't react. Even if you pass HCl, hydrochloric acid, or anything, they won't react. They are reactless. They are stable in life. They don't care. They don't react. But these metals like sodium and all, since they have only 1 extra, they just lose it to become stable. This guy chlorine, they need only 1, they react more. Sulfur, it needs 2 extra, it reacts little less. Phosphorus needs 3 extra, it reacts even less, right? And if you see in the case of carbon, as I told, carbon has 4 in the outermost cell. So carbon can either get 4 or can take 4. It's 50-50. Sometimes carbon take 4, sometimes carbon. So that's why the carbon forms covalent, a different kind of bond called covalent bond, because it is neither willing to give 4 electron and nobody is giving to him. Nobody is willing to give him 4 electrons, right? Because he's saying, I have got 4, I may get 4. So the carbon is a dice state, and that's why carbon has a unique properties. We'll learn that in the next chapter where we'll discuss more about carbons. But this is how the importance of electron shell in determining the reactivity of a metal and non-metal. Hope you understand this part, why sodium is ready to give electron and chlorine is ready to take electron. Thank you. Visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thanks once again.